Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I am going to dive right into this gorgeous art journal by Connie and I haven't worked in it for a minute, but first, before I start, let me just say that ever since I worked on this cover, I am just so delighted. Like, I absolutely love the way this turned out. I think it's the perfect mix of Connie's work and my work. And I'm just so in love with it. It makes me want to work in this journal all the time. Like, every time I look at this book in my art studio, I want to just open the book and work in it. So I'm just so happy with the way this turned out. But anyways, I decided to pick this particular spread to work on today. But before I dive right in, I just wanted to say that when I work in different journals or when I work in different ways, like in my 100-day project, I went from working on my watercolor paper to working in a very like a book that only accepts dry media. So I went from working with just 100 different layers to working in a very sparse way. And when I am working all in different ways and in different journals, what I'm doing besides strengthening my visual language, which I am doing, but I'm also thinking very creatively. It's helping me to think in different ways because, if I work in this journal and then I go work in another journal and then I go do something else, for me, the way I work, what it is allowing me to do is to become emotionally detached from my work, which does in fact strengthen my visual language. It helps me take risks because if I'm just working on one journal all the time, which I used to do this way back in the day. I used to get so emotionally invested in my art, in my pieces, and it just led to a multitude of problems for me, the way I work. Now, everybody is different, so I'm just telling you what works for me. But when I am not so close to my work, I'm not like just stressing out about it and just focusing on one thing all the time, it allows me to do things that I wouldn't normally do, and I can connect the dots in new ways. So anyways, that being said, let's just dive right in. So what I decided to do with this piece is I am going to keep the basic face, like, just the way Connie has painted the face. I'm going to keep this basic figure. And I don't know what I'm going to do here, but let's start off with what's already here. Now, obviously, I'm going to make it mine. I'm going to change it, but I am going to keep this basic composition here. Well, for this side of the page. And Connie's such a master at having a busy background and having a busy figure. I have not been able to master that yet. It kind of scrambles my brain up. So at the end of this journal, I may or may not have done that. And if I haven't figured out how to do it, I'm just gonna chalk it up to, hey, that's just not how I work, type of thing. Because I tried doing it for a few of the pages, but honestly, you guys, it really does scramble up my brain. Like, I need to push the background, into the background. Otherwise, I just get all confused. Okay, so basically, and now what I'm going to do is I'm trying to look for... let me see what kind of collage. I think I'm just going to use some dictionary pages here. And okay, I'm just going to start covering up stuff. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is, usually I try to have like a, you know, roughly 40-60 split, like 40% Connie's work and 60% my work. But I don't know with this one, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to insert more of my voice in here because I am going to draw another or paint another figure on the other side of the page. So that's going to kind of, yeah. So that's going to give me more of a percentage in this spread, I think. And so you guys, I did go back to posting on Instagram, but I just wanted to say a couple of things. The first thing is I had somebody comment to me from YouTube that they thought that I was going to stop posting on YouTube, and now that I went back to Instagram, and that is absolutely not what I am gonna do. So I'm gonna keep posting on YouTube, but I'm also gonna be posting on Instagram. So yeah, I'm not going to stop making videos. That was one of the concerns. And the second thing is, to the people that have crossed over from my Instagram account, I just wanted to thank you guys for, you know, coming over here and watching my videos, etc., and supporting me on this channel. And if anybody has any questions, you know, from my videos, like if I'm not explaining something correctly, or if you guys want to, you know, if I've missed something, or if it was unclear or confusing or whatever it is, please let me know, because I love answering your questions, and I rarely take offense to anything that anyone says. And I appreciate the different perspectives that I get, because sometimes I do get some very interesting comments and perspectives that I really admire and appreciate, and you know, I can think about it and be like, oh, I never thought about that. Or sometimes I'll be like, I don't know why I said that, I don't know why I did that. So I really do appreciate your comments. Okay, you guys, I'm just kind of building up my stuff here, and I think, so while this is all wet here, I am gonna just drop in some ink, and I'm thinking about what to do on the next page. Now, when I don't know what to do, I'll like ask myself the question, and then hopefully while I'm working, the answer will come to me. That's always my hope anyways. Now, I don't know if I want to keep some of the colors of Connie's face here. I might actually, I don't know. You know, I look at it as a very good thing when I don't know something, and it's taken me a while to get to the place of not knowing is a good thing, because when I like go, oh, I know that I want to do this and this, like right off the bat, it's also telling me that I'm stuck in a rut of what I always do. So when I don't know what to do, that's actually a really good thing, because it means I'm questioning it, and there is now the possibility of me doing something in a different way and looking at something from a new, fresh perspective. So I've had to work to get to that place of, you know, not knowing what I'm doing is a positive, because I used to get really frustrated by it, but I've tried to kind of turn that perspective around. And what I found is that generally, no matter what kind of challenge I might be looking at, generally I can always turn it into a positive, you know, because it is a matter of perspective. Like I can make anything work to my advantage. Okay, Now, you know what I'm going to do with this neck? I'm going to make it like a kind of a really weird kind of a shape because I just think it would be interesting to do that. Like we're just going to give her a weird neck. Okay. And now I just absolutely love the way these tea bags are all bunched up there. Like, look at that. When it dries, it's gonna get like really delicious. Just so luscious. Now, you guys, Connie's got a lot of purples and this pink here, which is not part of my visual language. And it's not that I don't love purple. I do love purple, but it's just, for me, it's always a challenge as to how to use the purple in my visual language, in the color palette that I generally go for. So this is going to be quite challenging for me here. But let me see what I can do. So I'm going to kind of make her to be like a dreamy figure, like, you know, and then I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do like 2 figures here. So yeah, I think this is going to be more skewed towards inserting my voice on this page, which, you know, I guess I have to be okay with that because I am going to be making figures over top of this whole entire page, which is 50% of the 2 pages. So, I mean, I'll try to keep what I can. Like, I really love this part over here that kind of just happened on the neck. I do love that part. And let's see here. And you guys, I ran out of my tea bags, which I am so upset about. I just have these like little remnants, little tiny pieces. So I guess that means I have to drink more tea, I guess. Which, you know, isn't a bad situation to be in. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is so I'm gonna keep the neck over here because I really like that like white part for the neck, so I'm not gonna cover that up with collage, but I am gonna put collage all over both of the faces actually. Actually, I just have some of this cheap lined composition notebook that I've journaled on, so I'm just gonna stick it right on here. Why not? So you guys, one of the things I talked about in my 100-day project, there were 3 basic principles that I talked about. One of them was the push and pull, and the other one was talking about a color field, you know, so if you're painting black hair, you're using a ton of different colors. But the other thing that I'm going to talk about in specifically in reference to this spread is that everything that you do works in tandem with everything else. And if I change one thing, I change everything. And so by me putting this cheap lined composition notebook collage down here, it is going to change everything because usually I use dictionary pages. So yeah, you will find that, you know, even if you just change one thing in your art, it might not show results right away, but over time, it is absolutely going to impact your art in terms of the things you are going to learn. But, you know, in real time, when I put down, say, this cheap lined composition notebook instead of dictionary pages, it is going to affect the way this spread is going to turn out. even if I can't see it, it doesn't matter. It's still going to affect things because me putting down the collage is going to affect, you know, what I put on top of it, what I put next to it, etc., etc. So I'm just gonna kind of very loosely apply this ink because I do want some of those, the writing from the composition notebook to show through. And I'm trying to figure out what to do with this background here. I don't want to lose too much of Connie's work and put, you know, too much of my stuff over top of it, but I don't really know. It might work out that way. And for some reason, you guys, I'm really feeling orange, and I bought this paint from Oaxaca and it's on its last legs, so I think I'm gonna use it actually. All my Oaxaca paints remind me of Connie, so it seems fitting that I would use this in here. And I think I'm gonna try to leave some of this yellow part here. Okay, you guys, I want this to completely dry and then I will come back to it. So this is going to be part 1 of my Painting the Feminine. And then I will decide what to do with the background, and I have a few problems I need to work out in terms of how to balance Connie's work with my work. So this seems like a good place to stop, let everything dry, give myself maybe overnight to think about it, and then we'll come back and do part 2. So if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.